Today, I want to talk about something really interesting. Now, Google has come up with this new advertising program which will affect a lot of local businesses, and that could change the way local businesses have to think about advertising. Now, the traditional way that you would go about advertising for your local business, like a plumbing, locksmith, and other businesses, is you would go about AdWords. But now Google is coming with something called the home service ads, or it's called Google Guaranteed Program. It's currently in beta and affects only a few cities, but it's very interesting and it can change the whole dynamics of how people in the home services space, at least for now, will be affected. So let me walk you through some of the features and how they're going to show the ads, and maybe you'll get a better idea, and then we can debate on what we should be thinking about if you are a local business right now. So now, as you can see, this is the Google Home Service ads page. Here they talk about, okay, finding customers when they need you the most, attracting new customers, build trust online, quality leads without the legwork. Now, this is all part of the AdWords program, so that's to be noted. This is an advertising program. Now, it's already in beta, it's already launched. Now, as you can see out here, I've searched for locksmith San Francisco. Now, what's interesting to note is that you can see the Google guaranteed symbol out here, the Google guaranteed symbol out here, the Google guaranteed symbol out here. Now, this is new. This is bound to attract a lot more clicks just by virtue of having that Google guaranteed logo. Now, when I click on a listing out here, what happens? You come to this page saying, find the right locksmith for the job. And then now, not only do you get a list of all the other locksmiths, you also get the Google guarantee. Now, what does the Google guarantee say? This pro is backed by the Google guarantee, which means they're licensed, insured, and pre-screened. Any job you book with them is guaranteed to be done right or your money back. Now, that's interesting. And they do background check, whether you're insured, whether you have a license. So essentially, to be part of this Google guarantee program, you need to pass Google's criteria. They look at your ratings, reviews, your background check. It's super interesting. And how it works is you as a customer would potentially send requests to one or more people, and then I'm guessing Google would charge the advertiser based on the lead. And if you look through the Google guarantee program, what they say is you as a customer can activate the Google guarantee, and then you can submit the claim if you're not happy. And what Google does is that they will cover you with a guarantee of up to $2,000. Now, that's very interesting. How it will work is still in beta, so we're not sure. And it's limited to a very few categories of businesses. Right now, as you can see, it's limited to the plumber, house cleaner, locksmith, handyman, contractor, electrician, general contractor, painter, garage door pro, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and some other categories. And it's only limited to these select few cities: San Diego, Sacramento, Stockton, and the San Francisco Bay Area. Verticals may vary by location. So now what's interesting is that Google is constantly evolving. They're constantly looking at ways in which to make their end customers happy. Now, if you are a customer looking for a locksmith or a handyman, now you're typically going to search for Google, or there are other apps in various countries where you can find such handymen. But I'm thinking Google wants to be a replacement in that space, and how they're trying to build a USP around it is not only be the source of leads, but they're also giving a guarantee. Now, I think that is going to attract a lot more users in the space. So as a local business, I think how you can be prepared if you fit into one of these verticals is Google. If you look through the criteria they have, they will go through background checks, they will go through ratings and reviews. You need to have the appropriate licenses with appropriate authorities. So you need to be prepared from that end. And if you don't have an online presence, if you don't have good enough reviews, I think you've got to start focusing on them right away. You need a web presence essentially. So you do need to start thinking about those things. There's not too much information available right now at this stage, so there's only so much I can hypothesize. But all I can say is that if we have to think, I think that Google will roll this out maybe into more verticals and into more locations if it works. It's been in beta for the last 6 months, and apparently from the reviews that I've read, the vendors who have got a Google guaranteed listing have got about 1800% growth in leads as compared to other vendors who are just advertising normally. So I think it's going to be phenomenally impactful in terms of how much effect it will have on anyone's business. So I think you definitely do need to research and look this up. And if I do find out more information, I will post about it in future videos. So yeah, just keep a watch out, the Google guaranteed home service ads segment.